Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel and we talk about them in a positive way. If that's something that appeals to you, you know you've come to the right place and we're happy to have you here. Today we have to talk about this possible Starship Troopers remake and what has been said about it so far that may just have some people not looking forward to it, and others may in fact find very interesting. Okay, everybody, so we've got to talk a little bit about this remake of Starship Troopers because this remake that has kind of been announced is making a lot of people wonder just what to expect of this movie. Is it going to be more true to the book or is it going to be like the original movie was and sort of take the comical approach? Now the last movie took this comical approach and it still flopped at the box office. But when it flopped at the box office, it really didn't matter because the film became a cult classic. It became one of those films that people think is one of the best sci-fi and or war movies ever made. And that's just the way it is. Now, the thing of it is that whether you like that movie or not, it was a success after a while after its initial flop at the box office, prompting the people who made it to do a reboot or a remake. And never really took off. We did get several sequels though to this movie, and that was okay as well. Now, it has been announced that Neil Blomkamp, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, has agreed to take on this movie. And what he's going to do hasn't really been announced yet. Is he going to go the more comical approach or is he going to go the more serious approach? Now, if you're unaware of the content that is involved here, it was written in response to the nuclear missiles and stuff. So that's kind of a bit odd. The book is by Robert Heinlein, and Starship Troopers is a military science fiction novel. It was written in a few weeks in reaction to the U.S. suspending nuclear tests. The story was first published as a two-part serial in the magazine of fantasy and science fiction as Starship Soldier, and published as a book by G.P. Puntum's Sons on November 5th, 1955. The story is, of course, set in the future society ruled by a human interstellar government called the Terran Federation. Dominated by military elite, under the Terran Federation, only veterans of the federal service, including but not limited to military service, enjoy full citizenship such as the right to vote. The story is a first-person account of Juan Johnny Rico, a young man of Filipino descent, as he goes through his military service in the mobile infantry. He progresses from recruit to officer against the backdrop of an interstellar war between the humans and an alien species known as arachnids or bugs. Rico and others discuss philosophical and moral issues in the book, including the aspects of suffrage, juvenile delinquency, and war. And these discussions are described as expounding the author's own political views. And it draws parallels between the conflict between the humans and the bugs and the Cold War. So this book is very dark, and to do it in any other way didn't really seem like something they were going to want to do. But ultimately, they decided that they were going to make it more comical. And I don't know what the exact reason they did that was, but whatever the reason turned out to be, that was what they went with. And I think that having them go with that narrative was something that might have helped the movie gain that cult status. So I can see where people are a bit put off by the possibility of them being more true to the book. If you look at Stephen King and some of the things that he has done, some of his most iconic movies weren't even true to his books. They weren't done by him, and they weren't true to his books. There are movies that you can get of Stephen King that a lot of people really do love. They're nothing like anything in his book. One such case is The Shining. And then by default, when the movie version of Doctor Sleep came out, it didn't stay true to the Doctor Sleep novel as you would expect. Instead, it went full on with it being a sequel to the original Shining movie starring Jack Nicholson that really didn't have anything to do with the Stephen King novel at all. A few minor scenes and things that happened in the book. But overall, the movie was so drastically different that it is one of Stephen King's least favorite adaptations of anything he's ever done. And it was so popular that the Doctor Sleep movie then turned out to be a sequel to that rather than a sequel to the book, which also had an adaptation on TV. And I don't find that to be terrible. I don't find that to be something that's completely horrible and irredeemable. In fact, I love the original Shining movie. And truth be known, I love the original Shining movie more than I love the actual little mini series that was more true to the book. But I do love the Stephen King Shining book and would highly recommend it. The same goes with Starship Troopers. The movie is nothing like the book, but if you have not actually read this book, you should read it. I mean, it is dark. It doesn't always have the best light. I mean, in terms of yay, shiny, happy, but it is definitely worth a read. And it reflects the times that it was written in. So I can understand them trying to modernize it and trying to do things, but they did do something along the lines of making this movie as dark as it really was originally and being more true to the book. I could see that working as well. But that is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. I want to know what you guys are thinking about this. Are you excited about the possibility of them making a movie that's more true to the book? Are you a fan of the original book? If not, are you a fan of the original movie? And do you think that they should have strayed from the book's material? And if you've never read the book, what are your views of the original movie if you saw it? And do you think you would be interested in seeing something that is more true to the book? As always, we want to know what you guys are thinking. Definitely leave us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Then don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're gonna want to be a part of this conversation. Then friends, make sure you are hitting that like button. It's free, it helps the channel, and we really appreciate it. Then Miko says we need more subscribers. And look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there. And friends, that will mean you'll never miss a single video we do. And then at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.